Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Brighton podcast. It's your boy, the Big JG, Jamie G. I'm joined by Joe Richardson. Joe, how are we doing?
I'm absolutely fantastic, mate. Just living my best life right now. It's half term, so I'm not working. We love to see it, mate. It's a week off.
It's a dream. That's unfortunately for you school guys. Fortunately for you school guys, I still am working. Unfortunately, how annoying!
News needs to be delivered, mate.
24/7. The cycle never stops. Even how bad the news might be sometimes. But yeah, I get to get away from the news slightly and come on here and do some podcasts about a team that we both love. And we get to do Wildcard Wednesdays. We've missed doing these.
Your favourite, mate.
These are my favourite. Just absolutely waffling about Brighton and coming up with some random ideas that we could actually discuss, like we do quite often. This week we have got hot takes because I looked up the last hot takes that we did. We loved doing it last time. We thought and it went quite well. We came up with some outrageous ones, and the people seem to agree and also disagree with them on our socials and our reactions to our podcast. So I thought we'd bring it back. It has been 75 episodes since we last did.
75? That's crazy.
I know. We need to start doing these more often, I reckon.
Definitely. 75 is madness, mate.
Once a month,
surely.
Yeah. When we last did it, we were flirting with Champions League. I'm pretty sure we were in the Champions League spots. So our times have changed.
Yeah, I can imagine some of the things we were saying is mad, mate. Just for context, I can't remember the last hot takes, so I can't wait to hear what I said because this could be such cap.
I mean, there was some
4K.
Glazing. There was some glazing going on. I'll tell you that.
Glazing. No,
we were big on praise of our players.
Okay.
Safe to say that praise has slightly petered out.
Okay.
It's coming up a little bit, but it's petered out a little bit.
I think I remembered what I said now.
Well,
a little bit.
The first segment we're going to be talking about our old hot takes and how they've aged. Have they aged like milk, or have they aged like fine wine? In the second segment, we'll talk about my hot take now. And then in the third, we'll go over Joe's. But I guess we'll start with the man that wasn't here. He was the one that kicked it off last time. So, yep. There was one quote that I listened to on the podcast today. Blessings said, and it wasn't his hot take in itself, but this is part of his hot take. Dunk, we know he's a special player and he's phenomenal. Jesus Christ.
Is that an actual quote?
That's what he actually said. Yep. That was part of the hot take. That was awful. But his actual hot take was, there's no one in our team that can live up. And if Van Hecker and Dunk get injured, there's no one that can step up to the plate. I think we quickly realised Dunk does not deserve to be in that conversation. No. Anyone can step up over Lewis Dunk. And we saw that with Webster's performance just at the weekend.
That is such a bad take. He's like wrong on everything. It's insane. It is insane. I'm trying to think of like what game week that would have been there if it was so long ago.
That was after the Man United performance. And he was talking about like early in the season. I think we were 5 games in.
Man United was the second game, wasn't it? At the Amex, I'm certain that was the second game.
I feel like that was the second game. Or maybe it was like a couple of weeks after that.
Oh, was it Arsenal? Because obviously Dunk had done the long ball,
the assist.
Yeah. That would actually check out.
Around that time anyway. Because he was referencing Man United and how well the pair played against them. But yeah, his take was basically there's no one to step up, and Dunk got injured. Eagle was better than Dunk. Dunk's been injured again. Eagle got injured. Dunk's got his place back. Dunk's got a little knock. Webster stepped up and been better than Dunk as well. So I'm still waiting for this cash-in bloke to come in and be better than him already.
Dunk. Yeah.
Dunk
Oh,
is
dear.
5th in the charts of like where I would go to. I'd even put Baleba as centre back before I put Dunk in there.
Do you know what's the funniest thing about that is that, like, I know, so currently Bless is living his life in Germany, right? We've sent him to go scout that Simas bloke, and if he was here on this pod, I know for a fact that he would still be defending himself.
I know. That's literally what I was thinking. Wasn't it a couple of weeks ago when he was saying, I think we're just being harsh on Dunk. We aren't being harsh on Dunk.
No,
He's
no.
ass.
Yeah, don't put this on himself.
No
He
offense,
did.
though. I love him, but please retire. I've said that months ago. I might have said that when he announced this.
You might have said that on the episode that we did.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that's aged like milk, quite
Yeah,
frankly,
that's
because
pretty stinky.
Dunk can be replaced quite comfortably. I think I could probably step in and replace him. So that's not a great take. But we have all fallen victim because I'll go with mine next, since we're along the same lines. It's not looking good for me. I said Van Hecker will be a hands down starter for the Netherlands in the World Cup. Quite frankly, he started the season phenomenally.
Yeah, he did.
And he has not looked good. After the 7-0, I thought, well, that is. I remember that hot take at the 7-0 loss to Nottingham Forest, and I thought, good God, this is not looking good on me.
In that episode, did we say? Did you listen to the whole thing? Did I say I think it depends on the injuries, or did I just agree?
You brought up Hato, which he's having apparently a phenomenal season for Ajax.
Yeah, let's not act like we watch, but still.
Yeah, so he'll be 20, I think, when the World Cup comes around next season. So that is competition to worry about. And then I think Van Heck. Well, the episode I mentioned that Van Hecker had just got a position into the Nations League,
but that was through Van der Ven
got injured.
Yeah.
And that's when you said it depends whether Van der Ven will be injured or not.
Yeah, because I feel like it's too close for the old guard to not go. So I feel like Ake. To be fair, I don't know how old Ake is. He can't be that old. To be fair.
I think he's probably about 30, maybe.
Yeah, like I feel like you'd still want to go with the experience. Like I still believe that Van Dijk's going to captain. Do you take De Ligt? I don't think he's been playing for them much recently, but I don't think that. I think Van Hecker is better than De Ligt, but I feel like De Ligt has so much more experience in that setting. So it's just
and I think he's so popular in the Netherlands, De Ligt, because he played for Ajax and he came through when he was 17 in the semis for the Champions League. So it's going to be, and he has actually not been too bad this season, De Ligt. He's very aggressive. I think at the time I was cooking De Ligt. I was I think me and you were both saying that we weren't too sure on how good he actually was, and
I mean, it hasn't worked out in multiple big places in it so far. So,
but he's been all right this season. To be fair. And
what was it? Juventus and Bayern.
Yeah.
So,
and where De Ligt's got better, I think Van Hecker's got worse. So we'll see next season. But yeah, that wasn't the best take from me. And then Joe, do you want to hear yours since you don't remember?
I felt like it was about Baleba.
It wasn't. It was about his partner for the last 2 games, Jack Hinchelwood. And you said he's not.
I remember being harsh about him. Yeah.
You said he isn't in the top 5 youngsters in our squad, and then we started listing some players. And I won't lie, I did agree with you at the time. So I'm also guilty of this. I still
back it, to be fair.
You named. Well, I've jumped off your ship, I won't lie, because
okay, that's fair.
Baleba, that we agreed, obviously,
confirmed,
hands down.
Yeah.
Ruta, hands down.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting a bit techie.
Did we not say Van Hecker?
Well, I think he was
He's 21, isn't he? 22, isn't he?
Nah, I think he's like 23, 24. I think we said under 22s. I can't remember
Under
actually.
22, I'm reaching so hard. That's not even a thing. That's literally not a thing.
Might have been under 23. I'm not actually sure.
Jesus.
But we didn't mention Van Hecker anyway.
Okay.
But we did mention Adingra, and he's not had a great season.
I feel like he is, but he's just. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's right.
It's not here.
It's not. No, it's not here. But I'm relatively confident he'll have a better career than Hinchelwood. Even if it's away from. I maybe should have said away from Brighton, which I definitely didn't say. But I feel like he could. Did I say in CISO? I still back that 100%.
In CISO, you did say, yeah. And
yeah.
I think Enciso is a better player, more creative player than
they're very different.
Hinchelwood, but they're so different. Yeah, that's where I was about to go with that. They're so different. I think Hinchelwood is. I've grown to like Hinchelwood. Like, remember at the start of the season we hated him because he was playing fullback.
I just think he's so average.
I think but average is sometimes like good enough. You know what I mean? We're Brighton. We're not a crazy. We're not a team that are like. I don't ever see him being a Champions League player. And I don't think that's my expectation from him. I think that's why I'm actually calling on like the idea of not rating him, because I'm like, he's like a perfectly fine player. I don't think he'll be a superstar. I think he can have a long Premier League career, but just like at the mid-table level, maybe like even the promotion relegation level. But I think he's like he keeps it ticking, and I think he will only get better. And the other couple players that you mentioned, Minter, who is coming on strong. So I agree with that one still.
I feel like I've got like 4 here. I feel like I'm still on.
Well, I'm not giving you a. Oh, well, actually, yeah, and CISO, I guess, as well. Yeah. And then the other one I don't agree with, and that's because we've not really seen much of him, is Gruder.
Did I not say Buonanotte?
No, I think because he was at Leicester.
Well, you can fucking add him in. Oh, I just swore again. Jesus. You can add him in there, mate. Yeah. Obviously, I feel very strongly about this. I keep doing that.
Jesus.
Get Buonanotte in now.
Added. Listened and noted. I hope you got that message, guys.
How old is João Pedro?
23. Oh, God, how old is he? Yeah,
I mean, I feel like I'm still right. You could just chop and change the players around. I feel like I'm still there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't mention. Maybe we thought João Pedro is just too good of a mention, or maybe he just didn't. Maybe it was under 21s. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But it was under 21s because I remember looking it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we've got, but yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible take. I must say.
It's the best out of the 3.
It's the best out of the 3, yeah.
It's the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah. And on that note, get ready for our next questionable takes. We'll start with me with the next after this quick ad.
Do you have a story that the world needs to hear? Have you struggled with reaching new audiences who engage with your story? It might be time for you to start a podcast. Let me tell you about a platform we use here at Global Sports Podcast Network. Zencastr makes it easy to start a high-quality podcast built for growth from day one. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes ums, ahs, your nose, and 22 other speech patterns, Zencastr makes it super easy to start a podcast that sounds great. Ready to tell your story? Check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
And we are back with a daily Brighton podcast. So, it's time for my hot take. And my hot take, as of the 18th of February, is I've gone outrageous. I have thought big, and I am not holding back. Okay. And I'm going to own this.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
I'm getting on the bandwagon for the rest of his career. Carlos Baleba already is the best centre mid in the Premier League. Come at me. I've scoured the league. I've been looking through the teams. And I think I would rather have Baleba over most centre mids. Or not most. I'm going to double down. Every centre mid. He fits into every team. And when I'm saying that, I think he's a Rolls Royce type player. Like we've seen it, defensive work. I mean, people bounce off him. He's rapid when he's recovering. He's got the recovery pace. So as a DM, perfect. Oh, I should have also said active centre mid, by the
I
way.
was going to say, because literally
Sorry.
the best player in the world is a
Roger,
midfielder
yes.
and he plays in the Premier League.
Active centre mid.
The actual best player is...
Yes, right now. Yeah, so defensive work on lock. Passing range. We've seen him do like 70-yard pings across the field. We've seen him thread line through balls, between the line passes, spreading it wide, and then also just control. Like he rarely loses it. And then the thing that everyone, I think, the neutrals love him for and know him for are the powerful runs, picking up deep and just driving with it.
Yeah, that's what gets the money up, I think.
Yeah.
The running with the ball, like he's prime Yaya Toure and Patrick Vieira. And the oh my god, Patrick Vieira! I'm acting like I was literally like, I think I was like 4 or 5 when he was.
Yeah. We'll pretend like we watched him.
Yeah, yeah, but like
we've seen clips.
Yeah, I do. Do you know what? I don't think you're far off. I just feel like there's players who have had better seasons than him in the Premier League, but I still feel like, again, he's the genuinely one of, if not the best young player in the league. I don't think you can really like. Everyone knows that. I feel like if you were to ask like every fan of a different club, who's that like one player, they'd say João Pedro, or they'd say Baleba. I think. I just think that like there's a couple players who have had, maybe not so much now, but like Caicedo, I think I was having a really, really good season, but then he got dog walked.
Yes, that's exactly what made me think of this. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching the Chelsea game on Friday, and I was like, you know what? We've actually managed to get £100 million out of Chelsea and upgraded, because Baleba, I think Caicedo's had actually a quality season.
Yeah, he has been good.
But Baleba, like, ran him around. Like, he dominated that midfield battle, like in their little duel on the weekend. He pocketed Cole Palmer for 2 games in a row now. Like he's just so good. And the other players, I was thinking, I was also like thinking in terms of versatility as well. So obviously you've got the McAllister. I think he's like fantastic centre mid, very technically gifted. We've seen it at our own club.
Yeah.
But he's not as defensively there, I'd say, as Baleba, and like I guess just the all-roundedness. I'd rather have McAllister pick up the ball and like find.
They'd work really well together.
Yeah, they would be brilliant together.
But the thing is I think that McAllister's like defensive work is quite underrated.
Yeah,
it's just because he's slow. Do you know what I mean? Like he's running in treacle, but like he's got that like classic South American like grit about him, where he's like he's not scared to put a foot in. He'll go around bashing everyone. He'll go around bashing everyone if he needs to, and then obviously like when he gets the ball, he's probably not going to lose it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the only other one's Grav, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Gravenberch. And I think can't say I've watched every single game of Liverpool, but I watch Match of the Day every week.
They're on TV all the time, aren't they?
They're on TV very often. I don't know how Liverpool fans feel, but has Gravenberch kind of like, he started off the season phenomenally? Has he fallen off? Because the Wolves game is another game where I was watching and I was thinking
he got twist up in the Wolves game.
Yeah, he's not really performed to the level that I expected against a team like Wolves. And then I was also thinking Declan Rice will be the other one that people have a conversation about, won't they? They'll make the case of. I think before I say anything crazy, I think Declan Rice is a very good player, but I'm never wowed by him. I don't think he can do the stuff that Baleba does.
They might be genuinely the most similar, I think. Because Declan Rice is an all-rounder as well, isn't he? A little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen him welly it from outside the box. I've seen he's a strong runner. He's not. I don't think he's a better dribbler than Baleba, but Baleba's dribbling. It's not even about the dribbling, is it? He's a ball carrier, and the same with Declan Rice. I don't expect Declan Rice to be throwing step overs left, right, centre. Do you know what I mean? But like, I do get it, and I do think you're on. I can't really think of any other players in that because we're only looking at basically that DM sort of, or just a centre midfielder. So obviously you're.
The Cams don't count. The Cole Palmers.
So like your Cole Palmers and your Fernandez's and all them. Gibbs
yeah. I'm not like just looking at the league.
Random shout. He's sick, but that's such a random shout.
I'm just looking at the league. I've gone down. I'm trying to find. So Liverpool, we've said the two. Arsenal, we've said the one that could compete. Nottingham Forest, there's no centre mid. Elliot Anderson's good, but nowhere near Baleba. Man City, we know they don't have centre mids at the moment. Rodri,
that new lad looks
make
decent,
clear.
though.
Gonzalez, yeah.
You're. That's an op. He's an op, isn't it?
Yeah. I already hate him.
Was he good? Was he good in Portugal?
I didn't think he was anything that special, really. But we'll see. I mean,
just to let you know, he does this every time, guys. If they do not play for Benfica, even if they do play for Benfica, they leave. He says they're rubbish. So.
Yeah, the traitors is what they are.
Yeah.
And then obviously, then you've got like Tielemans, good, but nothing doesn't come close.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
Doesn't come close.
Yeah, no, doesn't.
John
come
McGinn.
Close.
No, I'm joking.
They're very similar, Onana and John McGinn. I love.
I thought you were going to say that John McGinn is similar to Baleba.
Imagine.
Yeah, I do actually think you're right, mate. I don't think you're far off it. Yeah, I don't think he's been the best performing, but I think all round he could definitely be the best. I think the comparison to McAllister is. I think they're like the polar opposite midfielder.
Yeah, that's where it's difficult to tell. Whereas him and Gravenberch him and Rice and they're most similar. And personally,
he's not like Rodri actually, but Rodri is the best at. Rodri is the best at what McAllister does, if that makes sense. He's a metronome, isn't he? He's got. I've learned this new word, by the way, to all the listeners at home. I've learned this word called pauser.
Okay.
Right? Which means like the ability to slow the game down to the level that you want it to be at.
He's
very Busquets-esque, if you like, because I guess he's the one who probably started it. But so I digress. I keep seeing it everywhere on Twitter all the time.
That's a good saying, actually.
It is a good, it's not bad. I'm not going to use it in my actual life because I'm not a loser. But,
You'll see all the football scouts.
Football scouts
like describing them.
Yeah.
But
I actually think that's not a bad take, to be fair. I don't think it's that outrageous. You might be jumping the gun a tiny bit. But
oh yeah, I'm jumping the gun big time. But I reckon it.
I reckon 3 years if he stays in the Premier League, obviously, because I mean, you sort of when you're English and you watch the Premier League, when a player leaves the Premier League, they sort of like, unless they're Messi, they literally lose all credibility. So, unless they play for Real Madrid or Barca, they just lose all sort of.
And I unfortunately can see Baleba going. Like I can see him playing for like one of the top clubs in the world. Like one day, he's still only 21. It's mental.
Yeah,
mental.
He's so good. He is so good.
And on that note, yeah. And on that note, we'll go to a next ad break. This is our sponsor, our new sponsor, Bionic.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bionic, the world's most personalised supplements. Bionic provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bionic. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
And we are back with a Daily Brighton podcast. So I've said my outrageous take that I'm going to put my flag into. Joe, it's your turn. I'm going to pass the baton over. Do not disappoint.
Okay. Right. So I actually had two because I wasn't sure I wasn't sure beforehand like how many we needed. And I said that I'd do it based off of sort of what you said. So your one was quite positive, wasn't it? Both of mine were negative confirmed, so it literally has no relevance whatsoever. I'll pick one, and I'll just like throw the other one out there, like
Yeah.
at some point, whatever.
We'll let the listeners decide about the other one. We'll just
Yeah,
leave it in the ether.
yeah, definitely. So, my one is that I think that even though everyone said that we had such a good transfer window, I don't think it was that great, to be honest.
Oh, that's a. I did not expect like that. I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I
yeah,
haven't
because you could.
thought about that. I
Yeah, because
guess.
I've been thinking about it like during various points in the season, and there is nothing saying that this transfer window can't end up. Oh, you can look back at it X amount of years away or X amount of seasons away and say, oh, it was decent. But like in terms of like players coming in and having like an instant impact, I don't think any of them did. Like, so Kadioglu, you can't even count it because he's
Yeah.
not been present half the time.
Yeah.
He basically signed him
immediately.
injured. Like he's been in and out of the team anyway.
Yeah.
And I still think he struggled a little bit at the start. Minte, I mean, it's in the summer
Flashes.
of 2024. It's the
Yeah.
18th of February, and we're only now singing his praises for an actual performance rather than singing his praises before the season started, like we were doing because we were so excited. And then, like, if you think about, I mean, there was no defensive.
Yeah.
Like, and do you know what I mean? Like, you might not know Lewis Dunk is going to be as bad as he's been, but you know he's old. That doesn't
and
change.
we called for it as well.
Yeah, like 100%. And then we've, in my opinion, panic bought in January because, like I said before, when we signed him and we touched on it a little bit, it seems like he's like third, fourth choice. So yes, it can work out sometimes, like, but you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking sort of down the line. I don't know if I should actually get the list. I should have had the list up here so I can go through each player.
I've got the list.
Oh, you got the list, yeah.
Here's one we're going to be pretty happy about. That's really like cementing your point. Matt Swiffer.
Yeah, Matt Swiffer was an
£26
accident
million.
again. Yeah, that was I hope that was on Klarna and there's a refund policy or something, mate. Because that, I mean, apparently he's injured. I did not know that he was even injured, which I think maybe, and I wasn't even. You know, like we were saying about, we didn't know Igor was injured. We know the reason why we didn't know he was injured. I was not intoxicated when Swiffer was injured. I'm certain. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. He's just been rubbish. Matt O'Reilly, I mean, to be fair, not his fault because he died in the second. Literally, he touched the ball and died instantly, and then he came back. And then, I mean, getting up to speed halfway through the season when it's like there's a game every 2 seconds is not ideal. The matey from Inter Miami, literally, like he's looked decent, probably maybe the most so from the start. Really good to come on, sort of when you want to see a game out because he's just everywhere. But again, like you've signed a player,
not a starter. Like
not a
all
starter
these players,
currently.
they haven't. Like I actually really like Matt O'Reilly and Gomez, who the Inter Miami guy. But the fact of the matter is, they haven't started and they can't get a start over Hinchelwood. So I think the pecking order goes Baleba, Baleba, Hinchelwood, then Ayari. I think that's the pecking order, and they're below them. So
and that's 3 signings who are not in, and we play 2 in that position. So that's 3 signings that we've made this summer, and it is technically just this summer. No, because we signed him beforehand, and then he joined because the season finished. Yeah, so that's 3. I mean, they're all still no. I mean, Matt Swiffer is below me. Do you know what I mean? So like that's peak, and then. Rutter, yes, but at the start, he's probably the one who's been the most consistent. Gruder, where is he?
Genuinely,
I like him, but where is he?
Yeah. Genuinely, remember when we were like quite excited about him? I think, because you did the scouting of it, or like you watched it, and you were singing all his praises. And I think my fear was always going to be like, where and when will he play? Like we said at the time, we've signed too many wingers and attacking players, and then also centre mids. Like we didn't sign any defenders.
No.
And it was like, that's our defense sucks, quite
Yeah.
frankly. We're playing Lamptey out of position at
Mhm.
left back when Lamptey's not. He's had a couple of solid games against Chelsea, but like consistently throughout the season, he's not been great.
Yeah.
He's not gonna he's not this wow player. And then also like centre back, they should have known. Like they should have signed someone in
definitely.
summer. They should have known
100%.
Dunk and Webster was not the one.
And now also we're playing with the three, with Veltman, Webster, and Van Hecker. That's that's 3 players that could get injured, and then
Yeah.
that's even more space that we don't have, because after
Yeah,
those, apart from Cashin, who is there?
That's it.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, and then so like even with the wingers like Kozo Dubra and that, like I don't think he's lighting up the world on loan. To be honest with you, I know he's had some injury issues. I mean Sarmiento, I don't even think we signed him in that window, but I mean he's there as well. But like even the like Gruder, Minte, I still in that right wing position, I'd say are still behind Rutter,
Yeah.
who's
Like,
not
I
a right
think
winger.
The only
really.
one that I think has been, I'm happy to say what a signing that was, is Rutter, because I think he has actually,
Yeah,
for most parts this season, and this could be a hot take in itself, outperformed Pedro, and I think that's the only player I think
apart from the
has like
very
a
start, I
future.
think.
And then apart from the start, exactly, yeah.
Yes.
And then Minter is coming on now, but like you say, how
February.
long has that
Halfway
taken?
through February is mad.
Yeah, that's taken so long.
Yeah, but like, to be fair, my other thing was that I think it's time to move on from João Pedro. He just looks like he doesn't even want to be there. So you might as well cash in, mate. And to be fair, it's actually not ideal because you're cashing in on a player who hasn't been performing very well. So his value, I imagine, drops a little bit.
Dropping a little, yeah.
That was the other one, but like I didn't think that was that crazy. I feel like there'd be some people that would agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my hot take. I don't think it is a bit. I feel like if I were to say that at the end of the transfer window, people would be like, you're an idiot. But like now, like I know hindsight's a great thing, but not addressing the centre back issue is crazy regardless. And we spent 250 mil.
I was about to say, I'll tell you why that is a hot take, and it's because we spent the most of any Premier League club, including Man City, Man United, Arsenal, these transfer windows. Like we spent, I think, 250 mil.
Well, we spent more than even Man City after they signed all those players.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like that's how bad it is, and it's like, well, fair enough. We have earned the right, I guess, to sign all these players because we've had so many. We've sold so many in the past, and we've made absolute bank on players.
Yeah.
But like, you'd expect 200 million to be spent a bit better, considering how good we are at signing like nobodies like Matoma and Ayari and.
I think the outgoings were better. I like the outgoings a lot, like Buonanotte and Ciso go into clubs in the Premier League. I feel like a Premier League loan is always good. And like Ferguson as well. I mean, even though I think his race is run, that's still good. And then like you've obviously got like, I mean, Simmer, I don't care. He's not gonna. I doubt he'll ever do anything for Brighton. But like Simmer and Sarmiento, like that's a championship move. They're second or third, are they, Burnley? Like they're in the top 4. I know that. And then I don't know, who does Todd Cantwell play for? Blackburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kozo Dubra is at Blackburn, I believe.
Ah, okay.
And like that's not that bad. I know that they're sort of in that flirting with the playoffs. I don't know if they still are, but yeah, that's my hot take. I actually think it's decent. To be fair, I reckon.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's only me and you. I think we've done better this time. I think we've done better this time as a total.
Fingers crossed. We'll relive it in about 6 months' time. And we'll be so wrong. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good take. Like we actually haven't, considering we spent 250 million, and considering the players that the better players we've bought with less money in the past.
Yeah.
Like we've kind of wastefully splashed that cash. But yeah, those are our hot takes. Guys, let us know at home what your hot take is and what you think of our hot takes. Feel free to give us abuse in the comments. We don't mind. We
No,
can
not
take
at
on
all.
the chin, can't we, Joe?
100%, man. Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. There we go. And that is us. Remember to follow us on all our socials. Keep listening to the podcast. Buy some Bionic. And then peace out.
I love that. I love that. Peace out.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.